Yo, what's up, guys? I forgot I can't say that word on YouTube, but it's been a while. I'm sorry I haven't made any videos. I've been extremely busy. I've been building my own business. For the ones that know me personally, I'm a therapeutic trainer, so I decided to venture off from the place that I was training at and open up my own place. So I've been really focused on that. I haven't even done anything to this car. Today was the first time I got to turn it on, take it out, drive it down the block, because I had to turn it around inside the garage so we can start attacking the suspension work. So it's kind of been on the back burner for a little bit, but I did. This is my business name, Anatomy Mechanic, quite fitting. My new logo I made, we only have good days. So this sweater will be for sale. If anybody wants to support, if anybody actually believes in the we only have good days, if you want to support a small business, let me know. I can order you one. So today's video, let's talk about it. Top 5 things to do to your engine bay to clean it up. So, what do we do to clean up the engine bay? I mean, when we get it, it looks very plain, like a regular engine bay, right? So my engine bay actually looked like this. Cue the picture. So mine looked like that. Then I kind of dressed it up a little bit, valve cover, like dressed up bolts, and then it looked like this. Then I was like, man, you know what? I kept losing to other cars that their engine bays were done when I went to shows, so I want to spice things up a little bit. First things first, valve cover. If you're not into the silver stock valve cover it comes with, change the color up, right? I made mine gold, it was silver, it was red, then it was black, now it's gold. So I went through a few stages on that to figure out which one I like the best. But when I changed the valve cover, it lets people know, hey, this guy's working on his engine bay. He's starting to do some stuff to it, right? That's an easy thing. You just get it powder coated. You can spray paint it that wrinkle red, whichever one you want to do, and try it out that way, see how it works. So let's go over number 2. Number 2 that I did to the engine bay was I actually moved the battery. So the battery, which takes up that whole corner over there, and I'll show you guys at the end of the video, the battery is now underneath the tail light. The headlight, the passenger headlight. So the battery's brackets there, and I have, all the wires and everything that I need running and hiding away there, so which works out perfect. So if you're looking for a battery tray that you can put your battery underneath the passenger headlight and everything that you need to get it to work, hit up Sergio at Surge Motive Garage, and he actually makes the battery trays, and they fit perfect. No one has any complaints. They work out really well. I'll leave his information right here in case you guys don't know who he is. So that's number 2. I'm going to kind of breeze through this because I don't want this to be a long video. I don't want to keep you guys. Number 3 that I would say that cleaned up the engine bay was relocate the ABS. Now, for beginners, you probably don't know how to do that. Probably don't even know where the lines run to and things like that. But if you want to clean up the engine bay, this is also to help you clean up the engine bay, and you have a guy who's a mechanic, or you know a friend that works on cars and things like that, it's very simple. You can take the ABS system, which sits right here, take it out, put it in the window cowl, run new lines from the brakes to the ABS, and then from the ABS to the proportion valve, and then into your brake system. I just hit my elbow, and that hurt. So, let's right in the funny bone. Right in the funny bone. Why does it always have to be the funny bone? Why? Anyway, so that was number 3. So let's go over number 4. Have the stock air box. Get yourself a nice cold air intake. You can do a short ram. Some people believe in the heat soak. Some people don't. It's your opinion. Some people feel the stock air box does better than a cold air intake. I gotta see the numbers, you know what I mean? Personally, I like the cold air intake. That big bulky box is not there anymore. And I have more room, so you can actually see the engine a little bit better. You can see the trans better, and it looks a lot cleaner. So I would say remove the stock intake, put yourself a nice short ram or cold air intake. I always suggest a cold air intake with the engine. I want to say the engine hydro shield. That works really well if you drive in the rain. But don't go through puddles with it. Doesn't mean that you're going to survive if you go through puddles. And number 5, I would say if you have old rusted bolts and screws, change them out, right? Go with some nice Downstar hardware, which is what I have, or MPC hardware. There's other companies that make other hardware too. I think Dresser Bolts is another company. I went with Downstar. But I would say start like getting rid of, old bolts and replace them, make them look, new. And plus, when the things get rusted or you get like a rust on a bolt here, eventually it starts to spread out through the bolt and then spread onto the chassis and things like that. So just get rid of it, change out the bolts. I'm going to give you guys a bonus. So number 6 would be if you have any like corroded hoses or wiring that is just nasty looking, or the hoses are turning different colors, replace the hoses, clean up the wiring the correct way. Don't just use electric tape, because that is just the worst way to do it. Actually get yourself, heat shrink and do the wiring correctly, or just change out the harness for an aftermarket like Wireworks or Rywire. I have a Wireworks one that is going to be installed eventually. I'm just waiting for the plate for the firewall. I would definitely suggest doing those. So I really hope this helps you in your journey of cleaning up the engine bay. I'll give you one more bonus. If you're going to move the battery, take the fuse box and move the fuse box down. So I took the fuse box and I moved the fuse box down underneath the driver headlight. But yeah, you can do that. So you actually, instead of getting 5, you got 6, 7. It's a lot to clean up the engine bay, and remember, it's not just attacking one thing or 2 things. Like, there's other things to do. Rust removal, respray, paint the engine, things like that. And those are videos that I can do is how to dress up your engine itself. So that might be my next video, your engine and trans. So I hope this video helps you guys out a lot. If you're just getting into the car scene, for you guys that have been in the car game a long time, this stuff's simple for you. You already probably done it already or have established it at some point. But for the beginners, start simple. I'm going to show you guys what I did. Okay, so valve cover, painted it gold. Very simple, very easy. Changed out the coil pack cover for a hybrid racing coil pack cover. And then we spoke about removing the battery. So the battery sits about right here with the tray. My battery, I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually down there. You can see one of the terminals right there. So we have the battery, and then we have the ABS. So my ABS is gone. I actually don't have my ABS at all anymore. I removed it completely, weight reduction, and I got a proportion valve from an EM2. You can see it right there, because it doesn't have, the EM2 doesn't have ABS, and ran new lines, new brake lines, things like that. So that's number 3. Number 4 was the intake, right? I hope I'm right on these numbers. So the intake, I have a cold air intake, I had it powder coated to match all the gold. That's number 4. Number 5 was replacing the bolts. As you can see, I replaced a lot of the bolts here. Even the bolts on the manifold, on the fuel rail, on the valve cover, even the strut tower, the mounts. Everywhere that you could see a bolt, it has been replaced, except for this one right here, but I'm not touching that one. Here, along the side, and the engine bay, right? But that was a lot of engine stuff, but engine bay wise, even back there, I replaced those. Number 6 was the wiring and the hoses. So I replaced a lot of the hoses with Hybrid Racing. The wire harness will be replaced, right? So those were the bonus ones. The hoses back there were replaced. The fuel line was replaced. And fuse box. So a fuse box, which sits right here. And you can see, let's see if I can go behind the wheel. I had to get my light so you guys can see. But the fuse box is right there. That's the fuse box right there. So the fuse box is wired up there. Alright guys, so I really hope this video helps you trying to figure out what it is, the changes that you want to make to the engine bay. Let me know if you need any other advice on what to do with the engine bay. I will do a video about what to do to dress up the engine itself. Stay positive, stay humble. Miss you guys. We only have good days. Peace.